Danger Dolan. Gina Ramos says, I'm actually hoping Blizzard adds the finished character models before the expansion, maybe in the pre-patch 6.0 or even earlier if possible. I mean, if gnomes, dwarves and orcs are finished, why not add them now? Why keep them back until they finish them all when they already said that chances are they'll just release them in patches rather than all in one go? Come on Blizz, don't hold back on us. So in case any of you guys have been hiding under a rock and have not seen Blizzcon, the new character models are playing in the video before you. They've been working on most of these for the last couple of years, and it's very complicated, very time-consuming work. Now they actually had more character models to show off at the art panel, but they didn't do it. And I'm pretty sure it's because they don't want a repeat of the whole female worgen situation. And essentially what happened there, they showed off the female worgen, people didn't like it that much, so they made some changes, some tweaks, and then what they came out with, which is what we have now, doesn't necessarily look better. So they don't want to show off their unfinished work, have people criticize it, and then have some tweaks and then make it worse. They want to 100% confirm what they're doing, display what they got, make some adjustments based on feedback if necessary, just some small adjustments, and then release them. I mean, if you have a look at the forums right now, on both MMO Champion and the official WoW ones, people are cross-examining every shred of news that came out of BlizzCon. There's even a medical student who cross-examined the undead artwork, and he pointed out, you know, some bits of bone are supposed to stick out here, the eyes should be bigger, and it looked like wax. It's like, oh my god. Then some people have looked at the tauren artwork and said it's too cartoony. And even I've seen a problem with the actual faces on these new models and how they all look very, very similar to each other. If you have a look at the old models, they've all got very unique expressions on their faces because there's not much animation there. But nowadays, all the orcs look like Garish Hellscream. It's not that great. So even I'm criticizing these things and they're not even out yet. So just imagine if they released every artwork they had for every character and all the feedback, and they'd be second guessing themselves so much. Of course, you know, it is important to get player feedback and make sure everything is going smoothly, because ultimately it will be the players who are looking at these things all the time. But when you raise expectations about a certain art style or artwork or how it's displayed, and then you completely change it later on based on what someone else said who may just be in the minority, like arguably the female worgens were perfect and then they completely screwed them up. So it's a very fine line between asking for feedback from the mass audience and then incorporating little changes, and then asking for feedback, getting an overwhelmingly negative response, and then just swing the pendulum in the other direction. So I'm glad they didn't show off all the pieces of artwork, but maybe they showed off too much. But then again, it is important to get feedback, so personally I'm not too fast. I think they all look great. And I'm pretty certain that once the female night elves and the humans and the Draenor and the blood elves get released, everyone is going to play those because of their massive, juicy racial abilities. But the best part of these revamped character models is going to be the resurgence in machinima. We're going to never again see these wonky mouth flaps flip-flapping all over the place pretending to speak. It's going to be high quality toilet jokes and song rip-offs, which is what the internet was designed for. And in response to Gino's original comment about when to release these things, since this is one of the expansion's main selling points, I think they should hold off until at least 6.0 and then release them over time if they haven't finished them all already. I mean, the whole reason they don't release smaller patches all the time instead of doing big expansions is because from a media point of view, it's more exciting, there's a lot more stuff. Just imagine if you went to BlizzCon and they just said, oh, so guys, next month we're gonna release a new scenario, and that'd be shit. But if they release what they've got at 6.0 and then maybe release the next couple over maybe a couple of patches, that's totally fine. I'd rather them hold off on what they've got and make it big and exciting instead of slow and lame. Now surprisingly, I have another comment here from Slurpy Jones. Hey DD, do you think it's wrong that Blizzard will not be offering free character customizations for when the new models roll out? I mean, they're drastically changing the look of our characters without our consent. Well, I'll tell you what, they have my consent. Anyway, so whatever we get, we're really stuck with unless we want to fork out the 15 bucks. I don't know, I was just wondering what your take on it is. So Ghostcrawler did mention today that the decision to not let you recustomize is not finalized and it could still happen. They didn't even think it would be an issue, but apparently it is. Obviously it is. I feel the option to recustomize your character it's warranted. It should be in the game. Totally. But only to an extent. Like, even though a lot of the changes, they're just HDifying your character, really. They're not really making changes. They're just making it look better. But then, aesthetic appeal is subjective based on your individual person, right? So I'm looking at these models and I think the skin tone is all off. I don't like all these shadows around characters, the kind of brownness. And if you think about real life, you can notice something as small as a pimple on someone's face. And it's the same in game. You notice every tiny little difference. And no matter how careful they are, they will never pick up on everything. So Blizzard have this mantra of, we must preserve the soul of the character when we HDify it. And the characters will not be changed, they'll just look better. But they can't possibly know what effect that change will have on the player. If I show you a pencil, one person could think, oh, that's just a simple writing utensil. Another person, a murderer, would look at it and say, ha! I can kill you with that! And it's the same with these models. One person will think it's great, another person will think it's terrible, based on little differences. They will never be able to pin down exactly what is right and wrong, because right and wrong is different for everyone. So, in saying that, at the end of the day, they should offer a free customization option, not just for hairstyles and the usual stuff that you get in the barbershop, but for every feature on your character. I'm not saying go to the extremes of where you can pick your old character's skin or go with the new one. I think change is necessary, but you should have the option, if you do not like the default that you now have, to go with something else. You already pay $15 a month just to play the game. You shouldn't have to pay another $15 in a given month because of some change they've made to your character that you picked and made a long time ago. But they should make this a one-time thing, just like with the free level 90. And they should also keep it in-game. Just have like a one-day barbershop upgrade or something. If you log in and you see that little box that you see on the PTR where you can change your appearance before you log in, you know, it's kind of immersive breaking. It's just a one-time thing, but maybe I'm just talking about my ass. I don't know. This video's been going on too long. So in saying that, that's it for this chat box. If you'd like to see me cover a BlizzCon topic really quick, leave a comment below. And that's it. Have a good one.